let's go. And talk a little bit. First, a little bit about Amanda Network and about the event that the Our Peace Day event is going to join in on, and then I want to go backwards just a little bit to bullying.
Okay.
The event is. Tell us about the third annual Day of Awareness and Peace Rally.
Right. The first inaugural Day of Awareness was in August of 2012, and Amanda and some of her roommates, or housemates, I should say, were able to come to our church, which is where we held it. And the problem with that was people weren't able to find it. So the following year, one of the council members that showed up for our event said, well, why don't you have it downtown? That way everybody can find it. So our second annual was held downtown, right in the center where everybody knows where it is, and there's a stage. And so the music was phenomenal. We had not that great of a turnout, but over, now that we've been advertising it a lot earlier and doing flyers and getting on the radio, sending out press releases and things like that. And that's how you found our event. Last year we did have our event on Saturday, September 21st, which is the United Nations Day of Peace. And that's why we picked that day, because ultimately that's really what our goal is. Bullying and being mean and being bad for our earth and animals and all those things, it's not just bullying about people, it's bullying and not taking care of the part of the world that is within your reach. So this year we have it September 20th, and it is at Downtown Park in San Jose. We have several nonprofits that will have tables to give out information. We have 7 different bands performing, and in between the bands and changeover, we will have speakers speaking on domestic violence, teen dating violence, suicide prevention, anti-bullying. I mean, it's all those things all combined into one. And now that we have you guys joining us, we're going to do the special moment of silence at 12 o'clock and do our parade of flags and maybe get other things that you guys normally do. Yeah. And hopefully we'll have a lot more people. And so we're excited to have you guys partner up with us.
Thank you very much. So what we're going to do is what we do exactly the same thing we do here, we're going to do there, which is create a human peace sign down, and it's at the Cesar Chavez Plaza, is that right?
Yeah.
Historic of and to itself with Cesar Chavez for rights and not being bullied. And we will sing some songs. I imagine the same songs we're going to sing here in Central Park, the band shell, which is where we will be on the 21st, on the Day of International Peace, as declared by the United Nations unanimously, in which they have asked the world to have a global truce and for people to create practical acts of peace, okay? And what we see and what you're doing here, your practical act of peace, is actually a collaborative effort to help people understand the importance of being nice to each other, and so and not to bully each other and to respect each other and so on and so forth. So now for the I guess the harder stuff, we can do these events and we can promote the concept of being nice to each other. I'd like to now I almost feel like this is like the third part of what we're going to talk about, is let's talk about, if you don't mind, you mentioned that I'm going to call this the bullying part, okay? You mentioned 3,500 text messages.
That's correct.
You mentioned cyberbullying, and we're coming now from the Silicon Valley, home of cyberspace, I will even say.
That's correct.
And so, the importance of getting the positive message and the loving message out there to the world, because in essence, I guess, it's not the only reason somebody would maybe harm themselves, but maybe it's also different things that might be part of the reason why. Lack of understanding of what text message might mean. The written word is, it could be sticks and stones will break my bones, but words or names will never hurt me. However, they still can hurt.
Well, actually, words are deadly now.
Right,
and
okay.
we know that.
All right.
So that's why I'm out there
Okay.
educating everybody. I mean, even kids as young as 3
Okay.
are bullies, and it goes all the way to seniors. And sometimes it's not just what you're saying, but it could be even the tone of your voice, and it could even be a parent talking to their child. Sometimes we forget that they are children and that they do need our love and support and encouragement.
Okay.
So one of the things that I go out and say to everybody is, you and I are 99.9% alike. And if we concentrated on that instead of the 0.1% that makes us different, then yeah, maybe we could have world peace. Maybe not in my lifetime, but maybe in the kids' lifetime. So we have to be, us as adults have to be the example for the kids so that they see what we're supposed to be like and supporting each other. And it doesn't matter what hair color, eye color, skin color you have.
Let me ask you, because if you don't mind, and because we want to learn how you were able to to deal with this time in her life. Let's go back in essence to because it is so important. So, 3,500 messages or whatever happened in physical situations in schools or sexual things. I read through your amandanetwork.org website, and I listened to some more of your interviews. So, as a mom and me as a dad and a granddad, I have to ask you. Were you aware that all these things were happening to your daughter, and prior to this, and how this is where because we sometimes don't know what our kids do, and I'm not saying
and
I'm
we
not
have
saying
to learn.
And we learn, and we. So I wanted to, it's a serious conversation. The unfortunately we hear the Columbine kids were in their rooms and they never came out, and they're on the web, and they're maybe plotting the Boston marathon guys were
Sandy Hook Elementary.
There's a lot of things going on, and us parents don't necessarily know about. And I can't say that I told my mother almost everything that I did. I can't say I did do that. Okay.
Yeah, but we were raised in a different time. We didn't have the technology.
But I did tell her a lot.
Well, yeah, but that's because we were closer to our parents.
You think
because
so?
we had to be. And, with us as we were growing up, you had to sit still, you had to keep quiet, and you had to pay attention. And for us, it was just a look. That's all we needed. Now, kids, they'll test you and keep testing you to the point where, parents just raise their hands like, I give up. Because the kids know they have the power. Well, if you abuse me or do this or are mean to me, they'll just call, the cops on you or Child Protective Services that you're being mean to your kids, and, they'll take the kids away. So, actually, what I really want to share with the parents out there is that there is a study that came out a few years ago from the Center for Disease Control and the National Institute of Health, and they found that kids that are going through puberty, and that's middle school, that the serotonin in their brain goes so low that the kids have thoughts of suicide and suicide ideation. So if you combine that with getting bullied and picked on, and everybody has a different breaking point. You don't know if something happened at home, something happened at school, on your way home. You don't know what that breaking point is for somebody. You don't even know it for yourself until you get there, right? And you just want the pain to stop. Just like with Robin Williams. Because of his suicide, Now everybody's talking about it. And people are being more open and honest and say, yeah, I've dealt with depression. I know what it's like. I've considered suicide, but I got help. So suicide is preventable, but you need to ask for help if you have those thoughts.